you? My name's Samantha and this is episode 10. We are officially in double digits of the Khaos Kismet podcast. It's a mostly crochet centric podcast, but I do also have knitting, sewing, stitching and just general crafty stuff. I just like crafting. This is the second time I've tried to record. My dog's being a little obnoxious today, but she's settled down with a toy. Hopefully she's not gonna do anything. Oh, she's there. Hopefully she's not gonna be too much. Yeah, so let us get on. I am obviously back to doing weekly podcasts again. So while I do have some stuff, I don't have as much as I did last week. And thank you to everybody who sat through. I am so sorry. Lil, can you eat that somewhere not right underneath the camera, please? Oh dear, she's a pest. Apologies. So I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4, more than that. I have 4 finished objects and a few whips to show you. So yeah, let's get on then. I'll start off with the finished objects since that's what I'm talking about anyway. First one, crochet. This little, showing you the back of it, showing you my seams. This little one. Now this was just like, it's one of these small balls that I had. I'm showing you this. I had these last week, and if you watched last week you'll have seen that I had started making a shawl out of these ones and then realised that this is actually just the centre of the Karen marble cakes that I had used for the same shawl that I was just trying to make another one of. And this is the same yarn, just in a different colour. So, I don't want to show you my seam again. It's got like the different colours marbled through it, but I thought this one's just nice and bright. It was an 80-gram ball, so I mean there's not a lot you can do with 80 grams. It's either a cowl or a shawl. This is my pattern that I have for free on my blog. I have a video tutorial for it on my YouTube channel, or I have actually put it up. If you want to buy the PDF, you can get it through either Ravelry or Ko-fi, and all that will be linked down below. But it's a really nice, simple, super simple, very simple pattern. Nice and textured, nice and squish. So that is finished object number 1. Oh god, the dog's back. Hi. Do you want to come say hi to the people? Come on. Because we've got some new people. Come here. So this is my puppy. She's a little hyperactive. This is Lilith the Destroyer. Oh dear, she's just under a year old, so she's still at that super fun, happy, annoying teenage phase. Right, now we're going to settle down and let me talk to the people. She's a Staffy Lurcher cross, so she's got the Staffy concrete head and the Lurcher prey drive. There you go. Which is great because you can just throw stuff and she'll chase it. Don't eat my rings. She's trying to eat my rings now. Right. Anyway. Lil, stop. I don't have anything. Oh dear. Next finished object is, had I started this last week? I don't know if I'd started it. If I had, I'd only just started it. This is, oh, I don't have anything. Oh my god, give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. Apologies. Ah dear. Oh, now she's trying to climb under the camera. Of course she is. So, I say, this is my partner's hat that I've made him. I've got a new phone. That's why I'm recording over here again to see what it's like. Can you see the different, sorry, it's different shades of like an oatmeal-y grey kind of colour. This is what I've got left out of the 100 grams. And as you can see, it's oh, by the way, are we going to focus? No. Okay, that is probably about as good as it's going to get. Yeah. So it's roughly about an Aran weight, I think. And he just wanted a plain hat. I've not done my ends because I need to see how big it is on him first, because on me it's not the tightest, but he does have a big head, so, but it's also pure wool, and he's never really had a pure wool hat before, so we'll need to see if it irritates him or not as well. If it's going to irritate him, I'll just get him to wear it in the house for a bit, and if it's going to irritate him, then I'll just felt it a little bit, and I'll just have it because I really like the colour. It's a blend of Norwegian and New Zealand wool, but I don't know what sheep they're from. I got this ages and ages and ages ago on Etsy, and it's, you can tell that it's, you can definitely tell it's wool. It's got a bit of tooth to it, but it's not soft, but you know, as far as wool goes, it's not bad at all. Not scratchy. And I just did a basic little bit of ribbon. Yeah, a little bit of ribbon, plain stockinette, and then just decreased. I did them all on 16-inch circulars until I got to the top bit, and then I switched to magic loop. I'm so sorry. This is why you normally go in your crate when I'm recording. And I look like I'm talking to myself because nobody can ever see you. Hey dear. She's been very naughty this morning. I've got my makeup brushes in like a mug thing. It's like a cauldron, and I have all my makeup brushes in there, and she knocked them all down and ate my sponges. Okay, I think she's going to settle down now. So yeah, that's finished subject number 2. And I'll see him tonight, so I've not seen him for 2 weeks. And I'll see him tonight and get to try that on. So next week either he'll have a new hat or I'll have a new hat. We'll see. Finished subject number 3. Oh, I think I'd started this last week. This is Fudge. Now, Fudge was a free pattern on Ravelry. Let's see. I did have the page up. I swear I had the page up, but it's just kind of... Get rid of that. There we go. This is it up in Knit Companion. You're so annoying. So this is Fudge the Bear by Christina Marie, who is Whimsical Yarn Creations. No! There we go. Ooh, Whimsical Yarn Creations. And now you will see my bear does not look exactly like that. I don't know why, because I did all the shaping, but mine has turned out to have a little bit of a round head. It's still super cute. Still really like it. But this one, I'm going to be keeping for myself because, look, something went a bit iffy with my tension, which never happens. So I'm not sure what went on there, but my tension went a bit iffy, and yeah, so now she has a gappy in the back of her head. But I'm fine. Look, she's got a little tail. Look at the tail. So cute. But it was a nice, easy pattern. So there's a bit of shaping. It's an easy pattern, but it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be, because I thought it would just be basic shapes. But there's quite a lot of shaping here for the tummy. There is a lot of shaping in the head. I think I've just overstuffed mine, which would explain why the head's a different shape and I have gaps in my stitches. I don't know what I was thinking. It's just been one of those weeks where I'm not really sure what is going on. So, Fudge. Still super cute. Gonna keep it for as long as I can until one of my children steals it, because I have two boys who love handmade stuff. They both like pink and they both like to steal things that I make, which I can't even be mad at because, you know, it's nice that they appreciate my stuff. Oh yeah, these eyes as well. It's the first time I've used these. I got these on Amazon in the little, I've got them knocking around. No, it's these are stitch markers, but it's a little box like that with lots of different sizes of the eyes in. Excuse me. And yeah, I quite like them. I don't think they'd be good for every project, but I like to have a nice selection because I do like to make lots of different amigurumis. So yeah, that's that one. This was just made out of, it was a scrap ball that I had left. Oh, there you go. That's what I've got left of it as well. It was can you see the different pinks and different flecks in the pink? This is what I had left off one of the big massive balls. I think it's a Hayfield one. I think it's Hayfield Aran with wool. I couldn't tell you what colour it is though, because I've had this a really long time. I've made a cardigan out of it and it was what was left off a cardigan. Because I'm at that fun size where one of the 400 gram balls isn't enough, but I don't use very much of the second one for making a cardigan. So I usually end up with quite a lot left, so that's what that is. And I use a 3mm hook as well, even though it's Aran and I would normally use a 2.5. I thought I would try using the 3 because my stitches, because you start up here and my stitches didn't look too bad, so I thought a 3 is going to be easier on my hands. But yeah, I think I've just overstuffed it, honestly, because my stitches are fine everywhere else. Hello. It is what it is. One more finished object. This one, I think I told you about last week. My ex had found a project bag in the car, and he phoned me up and he's like, "You've left the project bag in the car, do you want it?" And I was like, yes. So yeah, I actually got it finished. I think I'd done everything except for the house last week. I just used whatever threads I had in my stash. This is the writing is done in a variegated grey. It's all DMC. And then some of this fabric. It's showing up quite brown on there. It's a sort of, I suppose it is brown, but it's like a greyish kind of brown. And the fabric, this fabric was just a scrap that I'd had. I don't know what it is. It's an even weave. I think it's a 28 count even weave. Couldn't tell you the brand, the colour, anything like that. It was, say, just a scrap that I had. So I made it into a little hanging pillow. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it though. It was a nice little easy stitch. I don't know what I've done with the pattern. It's a Lizzie Kate called Home is Where Our Story Begins. And yeah, and there'll be, I showed the pattern last week, so if you really want to see the pattern, just scoot back to last week's episode. It will be on there somewhere. And that is it for my finished objects. It's a lot faster this week. Oh dear. So my hair is still a little bit wet and my hair looks really weird when it's wet because I have it all shaved. So the top bit's kind of thin and goes weird. Dear. Well, I don't want to play with that right now. She's trying to get me to play with this hedgehog thing. I've got her this. This is meant to be indestructible because, like I say, she's a staffy cross. So she has the staffy teeth and the staffy jaws, and she likes to chew. So this is my indestructible dog toy. If anybody had recommendations for any actual indestructible dog toys that don't squeak, because she doesn't like squeakers, because she's a really good guard dog. I tried to get a one with a squeaker in it before and I had to take the squeaker out because it terrified her every time she touched it. But any recommendations, dog toys that don't have squeakers in them, that don't get wrecked really quickly, and that don't cost an absolute fortune as well, because dog toys are ridiculously expensive for some of them. And I know it's my dog, it's my baby, and she's worth it, but at the end of the day, we all have to live within a budget. So the cheaper the better. I mean, this one's doing okay, but yeah, it's definitely not indestructible. Oh dear. Right, what else? On to whips. Lil, can you please settle down? Right, I made a little bit of progress on this one. He actually looks like an owl now, although I realised last night when I was stitching it, down here you can see it sort of curves in a bit. That's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to be like the same as the other side. His eyes are supposed to be the same size. I don't know what I was thinking. I do know that I'm not ripping it all back out again though, so that can be my own little unique flair on this pattern. I'm absolutely not ripping all that back out again. So I've filled in his belly, basically all the grey, I think, I've done since last time. I think I had finished the black. I'm not sure. But I made a little bit of progress, and a little bit is better than none. I really enjoy cross stitching, but it does seem to take so long to come together sometimes. I got this. It's from Hemline. Oh god, I am so sorry. This is not for you. It is a seam ripper, but here's the seam ripper part. But the leather's got this like rubberized bit in it, and the end's got a rubberized bit in it. She's looking for her hedgehog. She's so thick, honestly. She's lovely, but she's so stupid. And it's got the rubberized bit in it, so when you've been ripping out your stitches for sewing or for cross stitch, I mean, you know, especially in smaller count fabric, if you frog your cross stitch, you end up with just bits that don't quite come out, and that's what the little rubber bit's for. You just wipe it over it and it just pulls everything out. Right, I'm going to go and put the dog back in her crate because she's being super annoying. I'll be back in a second. Hi, back again. I am so sorry. Oh dear. I thought that she might be okay coming out, and no, she's just decided that she wants to play constantly. I still haven't fixed the watch strap, by the way. I've still got, if you watched in a previous episode, I was having issues with the Fitbit strap and it kept leaving my skin really raw. So I wrapped a scrap of yarn around it, and I was meant to fix it and make it look pretty, and that just hasn't happened because I haven't had the time and I keep forgetting. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, this thing. So really inexpensive. I got mine on Amazon, but I think it was from a shop through Amazon. I'm not sure, but very, very useful to have, especially if you use a small count fabric, or if you use like white fabric. I find especially really, really hard to frog because everything just stays on it, and because I use a lot of black in my projects, it's not great. Nobody likes to frog, but that makes it slightly more bearable. Alright, so we've done that, While we are on the subject of stitching, There we go. Now this will be an embroidery. It's from this book. I love this book. It is amazing. You get all of your pictures in here. At the back there's a little pouch for you to put the things in as you use them. And see, this is the one that I've done. And you basically get your thing, you put it on your fabric, put a tea towel over it, iron over it, and then you can embroider it. But what I've done is watercolours. So I've painted it. I don't know if you can see, but I've painted that with watercolours, and what I'll do is I'm going to go around the outlines and then decorate around it in embroidery. And it's just something a little bit different. It's mixed media. I like mixed media. And I don't always want to do lots of filling in. I'm going to see if I can find the one that I was talking about was it last week or the week before? Because that is also out of this book. Yeah, this one. Ooh, that's the one that I did for my in-law, well, my ex-in-laws at Christmas. And I painted that in watercolours, but it wasn't like this. It was more like actual watercolour-y. Like this is quite dense. You could use acrylics for it. You don't need to use watercolours. You can use whatever you like. Just play around with things, and yeah, if you make mistakes in it, just do another one or go over it in the embroidery. You know, there's plenty of ways that you can fix mistakes if you're not happy with them. Sometimes you make mistakes and they turn out really good, and it's just a nice little design feature. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I like how the colours have come out, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like when I've actually got the stitching on it as well. So I did that yesterday. I wanted to leave it till today to do the stitching, just to make sure that it's definitely dry. It doesn't take long to dry, but I just wanted to make sure. Right. Other whips. I don't know if I showed this. I think I did. I think I showed this before. Here's my stitch there. This is my Totodile. I started making them with holding 2 strands of this together, and then we had a slight incident involving a child, a cup of coffee, and an entire bag of whips. And so I had to restart this, and I thought I'm just going to restart it using 1 strand and see how he turns out. So we've got his little head, and we've made a start on his body, and this is Drops I Love You 7, which is a 4-ply. They don't make this anymore. It has been discontinued. I don't know why. You can still find it on, I think it's Lovecrafts. You can definitely still find it on there. You just can't buy it because it's been discontinued. So I don't know why it's on there. But I'm sad it's been discontinued. It's lovely. It's got like a matte finish to it. I don't know if you'll be able to see. I've not really used this camera much, so oh, there you go. I've not really used this camera much, so I don't know what the capabilities are like on it. But my old phone, oh, tangent, sorry. We've got like gravel out the front, and I went outside and I had the dog in one hand and I had my phone in the other hand because somebody had just called me, and the dog had seen something over the other side of the road. It was another dog. So she pulled the lead a bit, and because I wasn't expecting it, she pulled the lead, I dropped the phone face down in the gravel. My screen just went bleh. So yeah, I had to get a new phone. It's not a brand new phone, but it's a new to me phone because phones are ridiculously expensive. So I'm hoping that this one's going to be okay and that the sound's going to be okay on it. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So what was I talking about? Yeah. So I really like that yarn. I'm sad that it got discontinued. It's got a matte finish to it. It's soft. It's good for amigurumis, but it's also good for. I had originally bought a load of it to make a blanket, a summer blanket. I've made clothes from it before, and yeah, I think the other ones that they do they don't quite feel the same. But I'm always on the lookout for new stuff. And the paint box stuff's quite nice actually. Paint box DK, I use that quite a lot. Right, we only have 2 more active whips. So this one, the shawl that I started making last week that I then realised was exactly the same shawl that I'd already made with this stuff. I decided randomly last night that I was going to do some Tunisian crochet with it. And I'm going to turn it into a tote bag. So it's quite nice. This is just Tunisian simple stitch, and this yarn, because it's got the the marlin in it. Because it's got the marlin in it, it lends itself quite well to the fade when you use it for Tunisian. I'm sure it'd look really good with knitting as well, actually. I mean, it would look good in crochet, but I think it would look really nice knitted up. And I'm literally, because these balls are 80 grams each, I'm just going to do it as tall as I want and try and use up all 4 balls. And then I've got some handles, and I'll just put some handles on it and put some lining in it. And I think that'll be just a nice little tote bag just for in the summertime. I'm not sure. I'll see what it ends up like. And I might keep it, or it might end up in the shop because I really like the colours. But we need to see how it goes. Probably the last thing I need is another bag. I have millions of bags and I tend to only use the same few. So it's probably going to end up in the shop. But I really like Tunisian crochet. It takes a while to grow compared to normal crochet because you have to do each row twice. But yeah, it's nice and relaxing. Because I'm just doing a square, just doing 1 stitch, it doesn't require much in the way of thought. And I need that because, you know, sometimes I just want to pick something up really quickly and not really pay much attention to it. And so that has been this week. Well, yes, since yesterday. That was last night. And the only other thing that I have, I've not even done that much in it, you know. I've turned the heel. So we've got the leg and a heel turn. That's how much we have left of the 50 gram ball. I have like 200 grams of this though. This is the Moomin and Novita Huviretke. I'm so sorry to anybody who is Finnish or can speak Finnish. I think it says Huviretke. It's a 60% wool, 40% polyamide, and it's just a really nice soft wool. These are from my other half and his ginormous feet. It is DK, so it is knitting up faster than his other socks did, but at the end of the day, he still has giant feet. They are not going to be a quick project. I think that's everything. Yeah, I think it might be. I had planned on doing a lot more this week. The week just seems to have got away from me again. I think that's it for crafty stuff. Other than to say I didn't manage to get anything in my Etsy shop this week. That was meant to be my plan. That did not go according to plan. So that's going to be my plan for this week coming, is to try and get stuff in my Etsy shop. It's just absolutely crazy this week, and I don't even know why. It's just been one of those weeks again. But I'm starting to get on top of things now, so it'll all be good. I'm hoping to be moving house again soon, because so we're done with all the crafty stuff now, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a life update. We've had a thing through. If you've heard me talk about this house before, you know it's a rented house. I hate it. It's not a nice house to live in, and I don't like where it is. So I'm hoping to be moving soon, because even though the house is literally falling apart in some places, they have decided to put the rent up. So that's where quite a lot of my time has gone to recently, is trying to find a house. Unfortunately, trying to find a house that is in the very small area that I can move to, because I don't have a car. I can drive, but I just don't have a car. And I do have a dog, and a lot of people are really funny about dogs, but I also can't not have a dog because of my mental health. I need the companionship of the dog, otherwise I would never leave the house. So it's proving to be quite a challenge. That's the other big thing that's happening at the minute, is I'm being assessed. My mental health is being assessed. You've probably heard me saying before that I go to therapy. We've decided this week that I'm going to go through the testing process for ADHD, because apparently women my age, like women in their 40s, and especially women in their 40s with kids, are very underdiagnosed. I don't know like what's the most underdiagnosed group, but women my age with kids are very underdiagnosed, because a lot of the symptoms for ADHD are the same as the symptoms that get written off as, oh well, you're just a busy harassed mum, so you forget things and you struggle with things, and you know, I might have it, I might not. I tick a lot of boxes, but it might not be enough. It might be something completely different. I don't know. It might just be that I'm harassed mum. But we shall see. The problem with diagnosing me with anything is I already have mental health problems, because I have trauma related ones. So I'm a nice little melting pot of crazy. So yeah, that's my fun week, is I'm going to have a telephone conversation with somebody who is going to tell me whether or not I should be working and finding a real job. So that should be entertaining. And then my therapist is going to sort things out with the doctor. And other news, what else have we had this week? We've had I think that's about it. There's nothing really been going on. Had problems with the kids at the school. Just some of the things with it. I think I spoke about this before actually. Some of the things that the kids are coming home and saying is ridiculous. I'm not happy about it. My smallest person went to the zoo on a school trip this week, so that was fun. He enjoyed that. He came home and I was like, so did you enjoy the zoo? Did you have fun? Because he's been to the zoo before, but he's never been to that zoo, because the one they went to with the school is quite far away, and we have one quite close to us. But they've got different animals. So he came home and said, so did you enjoy yourself at the zoo? Did you have fun? He's like, yeah, it was really good. The giraffes were a lot smaller than I thought though, and they smell like brie. I was like, okay. So he had fun, he enjoyed it, and the weather stayed nice for them. It was dry and it was warm, but it wasn't too hot. The weather's been really, really iffy again. At the moment we're dealing with, it looks miserable. It's on and off rain today. It hasn't been raining for a wee while, but today it's raining. It's warm, it's humid, it's muggy, it's, oh, you walk outside and the air is just oppressive and claustrophobic. It's not good. So we need a storm. We need to get a storm to break up a little bit, I think, and make everything nice and fresh and lovely. I mean, storms are one of those things, people either like them or they do not like them. I love a good storm. As long as I'm in a safe place for the storm, you know, as long as I'm not like picnicking under a tree or something, then I love storms. The dog's not so keen. She's not really big on thunder and lightning, which I know will be a massive shock to everybody. The dog's scared of her own shadow. But everything's just so nice and fresh after a storm. Everything smells really good. And oh yeah, we went for a walk through the woods this week as well, so that was good. That was fun. It was a new bit of the woods that we've never been to before. It was dry for the most part. There were a few bits where there's like, I don't know, it's like swampy areas inside the woods, which is, it sounds really weird when we're in the middle of England, but you know, it's just like a bog. But apart from that, it was nice. Dog enjoyed it. Kids enjoyed it. Well, the kids enjoyed it for the most part until we got about halfway around, and then the youngest one is like, "Can we phone Dad to come and pick us up?" Like, yeah, just get your dad to drive to the middle of the woods. That's totally a thing he can do. So I keep slouching, my pillow's upright. So yeah, that was good. What else have we done? That might be about it. Fox. Oh, it's fox season. So every night I have been woken up in the last few nights with foxes. They jump in the garden. They... Oh, I would imagine it's... For anybody who's watching from the US, I would imagine it's a bit like raccoons, from what I've seen of raccoons. We don't have raccoons here. We have foxes who will... I mean, a fox can jump. These things can jump really high. So they will come in and jump in the garden, and then they will jump all over the bins. They kick my bins over. They eat anything that they can find that is vaguely edible. And an absolute nightmare. They leave so much mess, and the noise they make is, oh, it's so creepy. It's like a weird baby howling noise, which is not great when you get woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're not quite sure what's going on. You can just hear this really weird noise and lots of banging. So I haven't really slept an awful lot. And I know that it's foxes. Trying to explain to the dog, it's just the foxes. There's nothing you can do about it. She sleeps in my bedroom because she's a big baby. She doesn't sleep on the bed. She's got a big crate to sleep in, because we used to have her sleeping on the bed a little bit, and she sort of sleeps like this. Yeah, she's not a small dog. She takes up quite a lot of room. So, yeah. I just like to lie right in the middle of the bed. She's sitting there looking at me. She's like, "You put me in my crate. I put you in your crate because you're being obnoxious." If only I could do this with the kids, but I'm pretty sure there's some legal thing somewhere where I can't do that. But it'd be great if they start misbehaving and arguing, just put them in a box until they settle down a bit. Make life so much easier. I mean, the disclaimer, I'm kidding. I don't put my kids in boxes, just in case anybody takes me seriously. It's quite bad you have to say things like that now. It used to be everybody would take that as a joke, but no, now there are literally people who would accuse me of putting my children in boxes. Right, I am officially just waffling, so I'm going to go, and I will be back next week. I'm not even sure what I plan to work on this week. That'll be a surprise. I really, really want to start sewing again. Like, proper sewing. I just don't seem to ever be able to find the time for it, because it requires a lot more setup and prep work than just picking up. I think that's what it is. It's easier if I've only got 10 minutes or whatever, it's easier just to pick up a sock or pick up a bit of crochet or something. So I have to make a concerted effort to do the things that I enjoy doing. That is my plan for this week. Craft wise and non-craft wise, I'm going to try and make a concerted effort to put aside time to do the things I want to do. That's my goal for the week. Okay. That is, so I'm just looking around just in case there is anything that I've forgotten. I've got a pile of stuff here that you can't see, and I always end up forgetting something, but I think I've actually got everything this time. I'm also cooking chicken wings and I can smell them cooking, so I need to go and get them out of the air fryer. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers. If you are watching and not subscribed, I would very much appreciate it. If you could, it's free. All you have to do is click the subscribe button and there's a little bell next to it, and if you click the little bell and put it to all, then it'll let you know every time I have a new video. And you can do that with, like, infinite amounts of people. Anybody that you watch, hit the subscribe button for them and click the little notification bell. Put likes on the videos. It helps massively. And the way that the YouTube algorithm is, everybody needs all the help that they can get. So any likes and subscribes and all of that, comments, comment down below, tell me what you've been up to. Let me know what the weather's like where you are. Is it just me getting weird weather in the middle of England? So yeah, I think that is me. I am continuing to waffle, even though I literally just said I was going to stop. I'm going to go and eat my chicken wings. So I will see you next week. Until then, enjoy, have fun, take those 5 minutes for yourself. I am actually going to try taking my own advice this week and try and get some sewing done. And also this weekend I'm hoping to dye my hair pink, because I have not had a pink for quite a while. Right, see you next week. Bye bye.